Welcome to ISL Enabled Virtual Lab of CSIR.
Caring for others in the climate crisis. Climate change impacts some of us more than the others. For example, those in the fragile ecosystems face higher risks than many of us. What is a fragile ecosystem? A fragile ecosystem is one where small changes in the environment causes much greater impact on life there. For example, the coral islands of Lakshadweep. The islands are formed by corals growing on top of each other. Corals are little organisms and they have calcium carbonate exoskeletons. The corals bring in fish, which is food for people there. Also, corals protect the groundwater from mixing with seawater, thereby preserving the drinking water sources on the islands. 25% marine biodiversity is dependent on corals. In addition, the corals form a wall to keep the rough sea away from the island. Without the wall, the land would erode much faster. The corals have a symbiotic relationship with algae and reef fish. The reef fish protect the corals. Algae has chloroplast and uses photosynthesis to provide the corals with food. Without this energy supply, the corals don't survive more than a few days. This is how coral colonies thrive. Climate change causes more frequent warm water currents every 4-5 years instead of one in every decade. The algae in the corals are sensitive to temperatures above 29 degrees Celsius and leave the corals when the temperature becomes unfavorable to them. If the algae do not return within a few days, the corals will bleach and die. At the same time, reef fishing is on a rise. The declining population of reef fishes also means more predators of the corals and competitors to its algal partner. Be it because of climate change or overfishing, the coral islands face the danger of collapsing. Aquatic life will die and humans will migrate. This is not just in the islands, but all across many parts of the country and the world. This includes the deserts, where underground water has significantly reduced and all the grass is drying up. In the pastures of the Himalayas, the consequences of the climate crisis are already visible. The communities living there were dependent on glacial water for years, are gradually losing their water resources. People are facing water scarcity. As the glaciers are melting, the ice bridges are disappearing. So, the sheep are unable to cross the mountains. The fishing community in the Sundarbans Delta is another community being impacted heavily by the climate crisis. The land area is reducing day by day due to deforestation. Fishing families have lost their boats and their land, with their lives and livelihoods threatened in their native locations. They migrate to newer lands where they have no identity. We can help them by reducing greenhouse gases as well as studying these ecosystems to understand them better and make people their partners in the knowledge.